All right, welcome back to another episode of Watching. In this episode, we are going to watch Kevin Gausman throw a Maddux. Is it a Maddux? Is it not a Maddux? Either way, it's a 100-pitch complete game shutout, which he did today in a day game versus the Astros. Whenever I see a game like this, it makes me want to go dig through it, see what he did well, see what we can learn from it. So let's just get right into it. We're going to head over to the main screen. We're going to check out our guy, Kevin Gausman. Just give a quick background for those who don't already know. Kevin Gausman, 6'2", 205 pounds. He's a starting pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. He originally went to LSU, the purple and the yellow jerseys. Same place as Paul Skeens, Aaron Nola, DJ LeMahieu, many other superstar players over the course of baseball history. Anyway, LSU kid. Eventually drafted a few times, but eventually drafted in the first round by the Orioles. He was the 4th overall pick in the 2012 draft. Bounced around a little bit after that. He was with the Reds, I believe, briefly. Let's see. Yeah, Atlanta, then the Reds briefly, then refound it with the Giants, where he had a huge year in 2021, putting up a 2.81 ERA in 192 innings. That got him paid by the Blue Jays. He's been there ever since, and basically he's pumped out 4 carbon copy seasons in a row. The first one in 2022 with a 3 WAR season and a 3.35 ERA in 174 innings. And then in 2023, he was an all-star for the Jays in a 3.5 WAR season. So slightly better that year, 185 innings, 3.16. Last year, puts up a 3.83 in 181 innings. The WAR statistic didn't like him as much, but basically a carbon copy in terms of runs allowed and innings pitched. And then this year, this doesn't even include today's shutout. 168 and 2/3 coming into today's game, 3.63 ERA, already a 3.4 WAR season. And he's been outstanding. He is vying to be that but game 1 starter in the playoffs once they make it. So that's a little background on Kevin Gausman's career. If we look at his pitch mix, it's interesting. He's basically a 2-pitch pitcher. It's 4-seam and it's a split. It's a very famous splitter grip, which I will model at some point during this video, and a lot of people have tried to imitate it since it really burst on the scene and everybody realized how he was throwing this pitch because it's tremendous. The split is his plus pitch. Pairs really well with a pretty hoppy 4-seam. So that's the game. It's an up-down game, mainly going back and forth between a 94.5 mile an hour 4-seam and an 85 mile an hour splitter. He does throw a slider in as an additional wrinkle 9% of the time, but it's all about the fastball and the split. So very curious to watch how this one plays out. I have some of the data from today's game that we're about to watch. He indeed throws 55 fastballs, 37 splits, and 8 sliders. It looks like he's going to get the majority of his whips on split, 8 whiffs on split, 3 on fastball, 1 on slider in this game. So that's what to keep an eye out for. And let's just go right ahead and get into it, and we'll watch every pitch of this start. Complete game shutout, 100-pitch effort, Kevin Gausman. Versus a good team. All right, so here we go. First inning. All right, first takeaway after the very first pitch is twofold. Number one, he pitches out of the stretch. Very unusual. Actually becoming less unusual as we progress and evolve in this game of baseball. But starters traditionally have a windup and a stretch position. Kevin just goes stretch. So you can see right here he does a little toe tap move. One. He actually started it earlier, so we'll back it up. Watch the toe taps. 1. And then he gets into his position and then delivers his pitch. First pitch is a 4-seam. 95.7 right on cue. Let's look at the movement on the very first pitch. 14.7, 12.8. So this isn't his best metric on his fastball, but he comes out of the gate with the first pitch strike, and that's going to be key if you want to dominate. Doubles up here and gets a take on a down-in fastball. Target was up, misses low, but a good take by Pena here. And you can already tell the splitter's on their mind. A big theme as we go in this game, I'm almost positive, is swing decisions at the bottom of the zone. That's going to come in huge handy for whoever wins that battle. The swing decision battle at the bottom of the zone. So the first one, it's a fastball down, and Pena actually does a good job laying off of it. That's going to take us to the 1-2 count, where here's the first splitter of the day. This is his famous pitch. High target, but he just lets this ball rip right down the middle, and it bottoms out. So very interesting here. You got the high target. See where this ball actually comes out height-wise. You know what? About medium height. So it's very impressive when you can start a pitch medium height. There's a lot of selling involved on a split. When you want to get a guy to chase a pitch, you have to convince them that they're swinging at a strike for a very long time. And that by the time they go to swing, it's too late for them to stop. So that's what happens here. He throws at about medium height, which is an outstanding height to start a splitter with. Most guys don't get enough drop to start their splitter at medium height and get chased. They have to start it on the bottom rail. But Kevin has the luxury of being able to start it in the medium height band. And look at this ball just disappear. So not only does it drop like crazy, it also runs like crazy. 20.2 inches of horizontal movement. So headed this way. That's exceptional. That helps him get chased off the plate away from lefties and off the plate to righties as well as below. So he's got 3 areas, well, 2 areas on each side of the plate to generate his chase. It's away or it's in, and it's definitely down all the time. So that's the first batter of the game and the first strikeout. Now he's got Jordan. Also, mind you, I know he throws a great game in this game, but let's point out, this is a great team he's facing. First pitch split to Jordan. Jordan's been absolutely locked in at the plate recently, too. So this is going to be a fun battle to watch. Splitter, demonstrating the quality of that splitter, that he can throw back-to-back splitters to a hitter as locked in as Jordan and get a swing and miss on the second one. Speaks to the perfection of this pitch. Only 1 vert and 21.1 inches of horizontal movement to the arm side. At 85 miles an hour, that's a plus split. So he gets to 0-2. He's going to triple up. So this one, he starts it a little down, and it's taken out of the hand. So, again, all game we're going to talk about swing decisions at the bottom of the zone. When he starts at-bats with splitters and he gets a hitter to engage like he did with Jordan in this at-bat, now they're expecting anything down to be a split. So that makes this a pretty easy take out of the hand. It does start at the bottom of the zone, right? Like that's in the zone. But Jordan already has the expectation of this ball being a split. So it's a pretty easy take. He doesn't even really trigger. Now, I would read it off of that 4-seam freeze at the bottom is available. But let's see what Kevin says. He does go 4-seam. However, the target is up, which is also a good place to be. Instead, he just kind of throws it off the plate away, and it's an outstanding take by Jordan. This pitch looked like it has a pretty good run for a 4-seam. Well, 13.7, okay. But 16.2 on the vert. So this is a pretty good fastball from Kev. 16.2 on the vertical break, and then as you notice, the changeup was between 0 and 3. So that's a huge separation. That's a big part of the reason why he gets the swing and miss in addition to the speed differential. 95 on the fastball, about 85 on the split. So here's a good take by Jordan, and it gets to a 2-2 count following this. And he's going to stick with the fastball. So he decides to double up on the fastball. Again, high target. This time he kind of misses right down the middle in the danger zone. But this is our first indication of just how much the split is on the hitter's mind of Houston. I'm pretty sure if he's sitting fastball and he's feeling good about swinging at a fastball in this situation, Jordan has a good shot to crush this pitch. But he doesn't. So this speaks a little bit to the pickle that it is to actually face Gausman in reality. I know it's 2 pitches, but they have such good, they contrast so well off each other that it's not easy. It's not easy in the box. All right, now he's going to get a 3-pitch strikeout of Correa to end the first. So he goes first pitch slider. Interesting. Correa had predetermined to swing at this. I thought he was going slider here, just like, you know what? 2 outs, nobody on. I'm just going to flip in a slider. This doesn't have to be a great pitch. It is definitely his 3rd pitch. But he does try to flip it in, ends up pulling it, and actually gets a chase out of it. So that's a happy accident. Then he comes back with a 4-seam off that and drills one in there. Kind of a weird follow-through here by Gausman. Didn't actually look like it felt very good. Yeah, that looked very odd to me. Oh, he slipped a little bit or something. I think he slips a little bit on the mound. So interesting that he slips early. Not a good feeling. Fastball velo was down on that pitch, but he drilled that pitch in there. So now he gets to an 0-2 on Correa. He's going to give him another fastball. And this time it's painted down and in. So that's not a pitch. That's not a window that Carlos is looking for the ball to come out in. Honestly, I don't think that's the window that Kevin's even trying to throw it in. But he ends up throwing a perfect pitch, maybe semi an accident, and he has a very clean first. All right, second inning, Altuve. Fastball top of the zone, strike 1. Kevin is sporting a career high 67% first pitch strike rate coming into this game. That is the most simple and direct way to better pitching performance, is simply improving on the first pitch of at-bats. Wow, he gets Jose to swing way above the zone here. So triple fastball. If you get that kind of swing, do you go up there again? No, he's going split. High target. Very interesting on the split. I wonder if that is in an effort not to give away the pitch and to make it obvious to the opposing team so they can kind of chirp from the dugout, you know, hard or soft for faster split. See, on every single split, we're seeing a high target. So I find this very fascinating because I haven't locked in on this situation before. But maybe for him, the lane is the high target. And then it does seem like the glove trends downward as he starts to get into his pitch. But initially, he wants to make sure he gets it up. Interesting. Anyway, this is a hell of a split and a hell of a take by Altuve. Unclear how he made that take. Gausman doesn't believe him, so he's going to try it again. Throws an outstanding one, has him way out front in a very awkward foul ball. And now he goes back to the fastball, and he beats him. He blows him up. It's way too fast off of that split. So the Kevin Gausman split, you know, it's also slow. A lot of guys have power split fingers that are designed to kind of look like fastballs and then drop out of there. His is like that too, except it's also 10 miles an hour slower. So you're getting a lot of weight shifting in the batter's box and just a lot of guys that are just not comfortable. All right, now he's got Sanchez. First pitch split. Fastball up in, beautiful location. And then split away, see you later. So that's the other thing about the split. I mentioned before, he can get chased below the zone and chased away from the zone. Did I miss a pitch here? So he went split, first pitch, ball. Sorry. Got to do a thorough job. Then he gets this called strike down. Oh, first he gets the paint down and away, follows that up with the paint up and in. So moves the fastball around. That's what the old school coaches would always teach. If you can locate up, down, in and out, then in theory you have 4 different pitches in one. You know, the timing and what's needed from the hitter to hit a ball in each of those locations is all different. So they would look at that as 4 pitches in one. And then he just throws him the bastard split here that he has to respect because he threw a fastball in the outside corner. This ball comes out inside of that, so it comes out even more in the strike zone than a previous pitch that was a strike, which of course coaxes the swing, and this ball runs 18 the other way, so it gets outside the bat. And he gets another strikeout. Beautiful job there. 2 outs in the second. Now he's going to get Yennier Diaz for the first time. Fastball middle. It's a good place to be with 2 outs and nobody on and the lead. Feeling froggy, so he tries to go to his slider. Pulls it in the shitter, and we get back to 1-1. And now he's just going to go back to his game. Here comes the split again. Diaz can't stay back, can't get under it. Rolls it over, ground ball to third. 3 up, 3 down in the second. In the third, Christian Walker. And this is what I was wondering. Where are the quick outs? Well, here's one. First pitch fastball up middle. Christian Walker is semi on it, but gets beat just enough to fly it out 102 to center. Didn't have great vertical break on it, but gets the 1 pitch out, and that is a gift, folks. All right, Taylor Trammell. Fastball down middle, so he's already showing you kind of what it's all about on the first pitch. Just throw it down the middle, let the action on the pitch work, get to an 0-1 count, and then you can go to work from there. Then he goes up with the fastball. So he constantly moves his fastball, if you notice, from more hittable locations to less hittable locations. The first fastball in this at-bat is kind of down. Most lefties like the ball down, and then he moves it up on the next pitch. So if he's going to triple up on the fastball, you can expect it to be even higher. But he also has a beautiful tunnel set up right down here for a split. So in this situation, you can go one of 2 ways, and there's no wrong answers. Looks like he's going to go fastball. We got another high target. Ooh, this time he actually drills it down and away, but he forces the swing and he gets the rollover. So pretty sure if he wanted the strikeout, fastball up would have been the move here. Instead, they kind of go for a freeze down and away. Also a quality pitch, down and away, tends to work. even still, regardless of what most people think, down and away four seam can definitely play, and he gets the rollover. All right, Dubon. So this is the 9-hole hitter. He has gotten the first 8 hitters out in this game. So once again, 2 outs, nobody on. He feels a little froggy in this situation. This is when he's going to try to hold back his fastball and split, even if it's just for a few pitches. So he steals a strike with a slider here, which is outstanding. Gets himself to an 0-1 count. Now he can go to work with his A game. Splitter middle, gets the rollover. And a nice play there at third base. So another 1-2-3 inning. Splitter gets balls on the ground. Fastball gets balls in the air. Slider is just using it to steal strikes. And that's the game plan so far. It's pretty simple, right? But it comes down to execution and mainly being ahead in the count, which is what he's done so well so far. All right, second time through the order, Jeremy Pena. Splitter way out in front. So guys definitely going up there hunting that first pitch a little bit, knowing that he's going to be in the zone. Splitter again down. This time it's a good take. So Splitter's on the mind now, clearly. 1-1. He's going to triple up on it. Again, high target on the split. Very fascinating to me. And he throws it up. And this one gets actually clobbered to left for a hit. So that's the first hit of the game. This ball was hit really hard. This is the first split that didn't really get to a quality location. Didn't quite have the same action on it. But this one did come out right where the glove was. Bam. Pena turns on it. Yeah, I could tell after the 1-1 that Splitter was definitely on Jeremy's mind there. I think that was actually a slight miscalculation, but it's the first base runner of the game. And here comes Jordan. He made Jordan look really bad in that first at-bat. This time he attacks him with a first pitch fastball, gets a swing in a very hittable location for Jordan, and he fouls it off. Maybe a week ago this ball's in the seats, but for whatever reason, Jordan not on time with that pitch, and he gets to the 0-1 count. And then just like before, he started away to a lefty, threw a first pitch strike, and then he immediately comes to the up and in quadrant. This is outstanding. This is using Perry Husband's effective velocity principles to your advantage. It's the same pitch, but it's also not. Fastball away at 95 probably feels about 93 to the hitter, whereas a fastball at the same speed up in here probably feels about 97 to the hitter. So he sets the expectation that the ball's going to feel about 93 out and away from him, and Alvarez is calibrating himself to that fact, and then he goes and he throws a pitch that has a perceived velocity difference of probably about 3 to 5 miles an hour up and in, and that requires a different type of swing from Jordan. One that he was not prepared to make, and it results in a late swing and a weak pop-up. So sometimes you just got to use the basic principles of effective velocity that were originally outlined by Perry Husband in some PDFs that I read as I was growing up trying to learn about pitching. And basically the principles are the timing for the hitter is different depending on the pitch's location. So that's an effect that Kevin has used very well in this game with lefties. If he goes that first pitch down and away, very likely to go back up and in with the fastball. This allows him to now speed up the hitter, but he's already laid the trap for the split down later with that fastball down and away. So fastball down and away to a lefty literally lays the trap for everything else Kevin's trying to do. All right, so that was Jordan, and now here's Correa. Correa came out aggressive the first at-bat. Looks like he's going to do it again this at-bat. And he's able to inside out a fastball to right. Very nice piece of hitting, and it does result in a first and third stitch. All right, so you got first and third. Correa with a nice aggressive play there, and you got Altuve up. So typically in this spot, you're the starting pitcher. You have a 3-run lead. You're just trying to have... I mean, of course, you'd love to get a double play here or a strikeout, but you're also in, limit damage mode. You just cannot allow 2 runs. 1 run will not kill you. So you just got to get this hitter out, and then you got to get the hitter out after that. You don't think about too much about how you're going to do it, but you got to get these guys out. So here comes Altuve, and it's also a 1-pitch at bat. And you know what? Gausman also is a noted upticker, and what I mean by an upticker is in the big moments or with 2 strikes often, he is able to uptick his fastball. So this was the first moment of stress in this game for him, true stress, and the first fastball comes out 96. He was throwing 93, 94 before this. This ball's 96. Altuve's beat by it. He's trying to be aggressive, man in scoring position. and he ends up popping it up into foul territory. Vlad makes a pretty nice play over here by the wall, and that's huge. It's as good as a strikeout. So first and third, 2 outs, and he's going to wiggle out of this inning with facing Jesus Sanchez again. So let's see how he gets him this time. Split down take. Doubles up on the split, sells this one a little better, popped a little bit higher in the zone and a little closer to the hitter, but still has him way out front. Just speaks to how quality this pitch is. You can be anticipating it, you can still be out front of it. Now he fastball aways and throws a perfect pitch that just shaves the corner up and away. Creates a really tough swing decision here for Sanchez. If a splitter popped in that location, it would definitely be a ball. So that kind of causes him to hesitate on his swing. And he comes up empty and gets to 1-2. And then he's going to finish the at-bat, up taking even further to 96.5 and just straight up blowing his doors off. So, like I mentioned, he has the ability to reach back for a little bit extra when needed. This was that moment. And 96.5, up and away, gets the swing through with a hitter that's a little in between the 2 pitches. So you can already see how... when you show a pitcher, a hitter, a really quality fastball and a really quality off-speed pitch, and they're 10 miles an hour or more in separation, now it becomes a guessing game a little bit. You kind of force them into your game a little bit. The hitter has to say, I'm sitting soft or I'm sitting hard. And once you identify that as a pitcher, the options become pretty obvious over time. And that's kind of the effect that he has going here. It's just fascinating because it's a fastball and a changeup, or a fastball and a split. It's a pretty basic up-down approach. He's just a master at it. All right, 5th inning. Yanier Diaz. Well, this time taken all the way. He drills one in there for a strike. He's been 0-1 all day. I cannot express to you how important that is. And then he throws that slider. It's the pitch they're not looking for, even though this is pretty much a hanging spinner down the middle. It's not what they're looking for, and he gets the pop-up. So very satisfying when you get an out with a pitch that you don't usually get a lot of outs with. All right, Christian Walker. Pumps another fastball in there, daring him to swing early with the 4-0 lead. Pitching is offense, especially when you have the lead. You have to just ram it down their throat and make them earn everything, and that's what he's doing. And then he gets a really good chase on a split here. This ball comes out. Christian's on the heater here, and he just can't hold up on the split. Goes to 1-2. Split down. Christian went to a complete 2-strike approach here too. He completely widened out. See how wide he just got? Because now he doesn't know what to look for. Now he's just spreading out and he's trying to throw his hands and make contact. That's all he's thinking about now. All right, 2-2. And you know what? That approach was an outstanding approach to the plate because he hit the crap out of that thing. 94-4. I'm surprised it wasn't hit harder. It looked harder. But all he did was just spread out here and throw the hands. And it worked out good for him because this was a fastball down in. Kind of a misfire from Gausman here. But when you're hot, you're hot. And Gausman was hot in this game. Line drive, easily caught over there. And that's 2 outs in the 5th. And now Taylor Trammell. Splitter again. So it's really just the same combinations over and over and over again. Am I going to start you with the fastball? Am I going to start you with the splitter? Am I going to double up? Am I going to go back to the other one? Am I going to go up? Am I going to go down? Am I going to start you away and then go in? Am I going to start you in and then go away? So it's just different variations, different combinations off of the same 2 pitches. And they protect each other really well. Like, this is a really bad 0-2 pitch, location-wise. But he gets away with it. And you can even see Gausman's reaction. Throws it, kind of looks back like, ay, ay, ay. I wonder if you can see it good from here, his reaction. He's like, yep, got away with that one. But when you have the protection built in, and what I mean by protection is how one pitch aids the other pitch, and that's what his 2 work so well together. Sometimes you get outcomes like that. All right, so he's going to go correct it here. 96-1 on the next pitch. This time he gets it up away. Pretty good location. And, in fact, good enough that Trammell does not get on top of that, gets under it, pops it up to center for a can of corn, and he's through 5. 6th inning, Dubon. Pumps another first pitch strike in there all day long with the fastball. And notice he's not trying to be too fine with it either. Slider away. He loves the slider, either first pitch or 0-1. He's never trying to throw it when he has to try to throw it for a strike. First pitch or 0-1 is definitely the slider moment for Gausman. He goes with it here, 0-1. Ends up actually running into a pretty good pitch on the outside corner. Gets the foul ball. Now he's 0-2. Lets one rip, kind of pulls it down the middle. Dubon's late. Now he comes splitter. Almost had him. Threw a dandy right here. But Dubon just nicks this ball. This is actually... He barely hits this, huh? All right, 0-2 again. Fastball up. He's late on that. Ooh. Fastball down was usually a really good freeze pitch for four-seam guys and split guys. Just misses it here. I don't know if he meant to do this, but he had him frozen for sure. Anyway, we go to the next pitch. Finally, he's going to circle back to the split again. Gets him to roll over to short. So it's just tough. It's just tough as a hitter. I mean, in theory, you got a better shot probably sitting fastball and adjusting to the split, but at the same time, you're probably not going to hit the split if you're on the fastball. That's how well they are. That's how well separated they are. All right, Pena now. Third time through. Now he goes with that first pitch slider. Gets ahead. Pena's been aggressive all three at-bats, so he knew that going in. Split in, nearly hits him. No fastball. Gets it up above the barrel again. Sees that. He's going to stick with it. Oop, and it runs into an accidental down and in freeze. Same pitches he got Correa on earlier in the game in the first inning. You know, if you notice, all the targets have been the same the whole game. This is where the catcher's been the whole game, pretty much regardless of pitch type. I think that's interesting strategy because, one, clearly it helps Kevin get in his lane that he needs to get in. But two, they can't give away anything. There's nothing that you can glean from the catcher's setup in terms of what pitch is coming. So that has been a big factor, I think. It's probably been something that they've had to work on over the years, not giving away what he's throwing too often. But he has also run into a couple of perfect pitches. And as Greg Maddux used to say, you don't try to throw great pitches. You just try to throw good pitches, and you're going to run into some great pitches. And that's what happened there. All right, Jordan. Split down. Good take. Four seam at the bottom off of that. That's usually going to be a freeze. That's an easy take. Let's see where he throws this next four seam. Very hittable spot. So Jordan not seeing him very well at all. Like I mentioned a week ago, these balls were all 110 mile-an-hour exit velos in those locations. And then talk about an uptick again. So there's levels to this game, according to Kevin. Now he goes to 97.6. And again, I mentioned that down ball, if you get it to the bottom rail, it's a freeze all day because they're expecting the splitter to drop off. And look where this ball ends up. Painted on the bottom rail. So, generally speaking, the hitters are expecting when balls to come out. When balls come out of that tunnel, they're expecting them to end up down here as splits. This whole region. And that ball just holds true and hits the line. It's a beautiful sequence. It really is. When you have chase below the plate and then guys hold up on it, that pitch is freeze. Four seam down is freeze after that. Also, pretty good emotion shown from Kevin here. Not something we're used to seeing out of him. He's fired up. All right. And he is rolling as we on to the seventh. Here is Correa for the third time. Drills another four seam in. Carbon copy. Over, copy and paste. Copy and paste. Four seam in there for a strike. Doubles up. He's got everybody sitting on one thing or another thing, and they're guessing wrong an awful lot. Now he goes to that slider. And then he comes back with the four seam, this time getting it up and into a tough location to hit. You could tell Correa was on the splitter the whole at-bat, considering this take on the 0-1. This is a fishy take. That's a pitch you're going to swing at 0-1 9 times out of 10. And to me, that's a fishy take because he's looking for a splitter. So he's looking for the ball to pop in a different location or for it to do something different. So he just guessed wrong there. And that got him to the 0-2 count, which eventually sets up Kevin's ability to now go up in. And your doors are blown off. See you later. Really nice sequence there. All right, Altuve now. So he's rolling with these dudes with strikeouts now. Can start him with the split this time. Drops it right in there. Popped him up the last time. So that's a perfect example of 2 pitches tunneled right there. This is the fastball. Look where it comes out. Right around the top of the zone. And it carries over to right there. And then watch where the split comes out. The previous split. The split comes out higher than that and drops down into the zone. So that's a really fun trick, because then when you throw that fastball on the next page, that's like lower, comes out lower than the split. This red dot is where that other split had popped, and that had been a strike, right? So now when you throw something in this blue band that I'm highlighting with the red dot here, in this blue band, he has no choice but to swing. And it might be a fastball, and it might engage above the zone, and it's going to blow him up. So that's beautiful use of lanes. He stayed in the same lane with both pitches, and they interacted really well off of each other. And he's able to get a foul ball here and get himself to an 0-2 count. Let's see how he puts him away. Fastball up again, gets this one a little more away from him, maybe a touch higher, and seals the deal. So earlier we were talking a lot about swing decisions here at the bottom of the zone. This at-bat was all about swing decisions at the top of the zone. And that's the game he's going to play. He never plays the East-West game. The East-West, these two sides of the plate aren't really his thing. Now, he did versus lefties. Obviously, I showed you a little bit of playing at a touch by starting them away to set up potential chase on split away. But with righties, and mostly with lefties, it's just all about up-down. It's up-down, up-down. It's swing decisions at the top, swing decisions at the bottom, and a speed differential game. And he just abuses Altuve here with this fastball. Smell you later. All right, he's going to get the last out of the 7th, Jesus Sanchez. So he's sniffing the CG at this point. 77 pitches after that pitch right there. Comes a split. Gets him out front, gets his weight out front. You can see how Sanchez tries to ride this ball out, but he just can't quite do it. He's smiling because he's like, I just can't get on time with this dude. And now it's 0-2. Once again, 0-2. Shitload of 0-2 counts. Gets him to chase a pitch way below the zone for an easy rollover, easy ground out. So some guys, he's freezing them. Some guys, he's getting them to swing at ridiculous pitches, and he's rolling through 7. We head to the 8th. In your Diaz. There's that first pitch slider. Doesn't hit with it. But again, that's the purpose that the slider serves. You can see it. He's just trying to throw it a little bit here and there. He's not trying to rely on it. He certainly doesn't want you to put it in play. But it's still there, so that he doesn't have to throw only 2 pitches the whole game. So to me, that has value. All right, 2-0 strike. This is the first 2-0 count I can think of in a very long time. Then he goes splitter, gets that rollover again. So it doesn't matter the count. You're not sure which of these 2 pitches are coming because he can strike them both and he can throw them both for chase. And even in this situation where he got in the 2-0 count, he was able to climb back in the count very easily and get the ground out. All right, Christian Walker. It's going to be a first pitch out. This is the second first pitch fly out to the warning track of the day for Christian Walker. He's just been a little off. Just hasn't quite squared up Gausman, but he has provided the opportunity for Kevin to pitch the whole game because he's made 2 outs on 2 pitches. All right, Terrell Trammell, 3-pitch strikeout to end the 8th. And now you got the shadows creeping in too, so now it's going to be a little tougher even. Pitcher who's feeling it, who hasn't really been stressed the whole game, -1 batter. Shadows creeping in. Getaway day. There's a lot of things potentially working in Kevin's favor, and he took advantage of all of them. And he throws pretty much a perfect splitter right here. Trammell's frustrated, but dude, this is perfection. Ball comes out almost to medium height and just completely zips down and away. He is nowhere near this ball, and it just speaks to how nasty this split really is. Yeah, that's a frustrating moment. Gausman loved it. Little freeze on the follow-through here. And he earned himself a shot at the complete game, which is what every starter wants and what almost no starter gets anymore. But let's watch the 9th inning. And it actually starts beautifully with a first pitch out to Dubon here. Hit it pretty hard, but it's a one-hopper right at Jimenez, former, I believe, Platinum Glove winner. So if you're going to hit it to somebody, that's a good guy. And it's one pitch one out in the 9th. Then he engages in this 6th pitch at-bat with Pena. So now we're 4th time through. Pena has 1 hit, so he's 1 for 3 coming into this at-bat. He ends up walking. Curious to see how this goes down, because he had been pretty aggressive all game. Pulls the split away. Wow, got crazy chase on that. So he was in the driver's seat in this at-bat. And he must just lose him here somehow. Split away, doesn't get it this time. I think I would have stuck with it too. Almost gets the chase there, but pulls it a little too much. Ends up going like 5 splits in a row here. Ends up with a walk, but I don't know. He was in the driver's seat there. That just kind of, that was just a little bit of a fluky at bat. So let's see how he finishes this thing out. Jordan for a 4th time. You see Jordan 4 times, you get him out 4 times. I mean, that's something that I'd be very proud of. Once again, that lefty sequence. If he does happen to throw you a first pitch fastball down and away, like he does right here. Boom, down and away. The next fastball is going to be up and in, and I love it. And he's also executing the crap out of it. Look at that spot. Perfect again, 0-2. Splitter's wide open. The tunnel has been set. Gets the chase off the plate. Like I said, the trap has been set. So he can go to that. Now he's going to go to it again. Gets it there. Has no choice but to swing. Hits a little cue shot. Ernie Clement makes the play. So 2 outs in the 9th. And then he's going to finish it out versus Correa. So here he goes for the shutout. Crowd on the feet. Very cool. First pitch split, which I think Carlos has been on the whole game. And he hammers it foul. So now he's going to come back with the fastball. Still 97 miles an hour on his 100th pitch. Dots it down and away. Actually slices it pretty good. But it goes right to Vlad. Complete game shutout. Heck of a performance by Gausman. Really, really good. All right, so we'll just watch this pitch as we look at the delivery a little bit. It's the last pitch of the night. It's terrible because of the glare. So let's go back in time to this pitch to Correa. All right, so let's take a quick look at the delivery, then we'll go look at the 3D pitches from this game, which he obviously dominated, and then we'll go from there. So Gausman has the interesting delivery, to say the least. I don't know how I get rid of this thing. I guess I can't. He starts weight shifted back. So he does like this kind of this foot tap move. And he usually does like a couple of these taps. I don't know why he does that. It's some sort of timing mechanism. He also, notice the glove. There's not going to be any real ability to get a tip from the glove that low. He's got everything hidden in there, his hand. Everything hidden in there very nicely. So no tipping situation. All right, back to the legs. So he's definitely cocked back. He's already kind of pressed into this hip. I think his idea is just to ride the hip down the mound. And then so he's also very wide. Most pitchers are not this wide with their feet. So interesting. No windup, very wide. He's got a quirky little tap going on. He's presetting his back hip. Weights on the back leg pretty substantially. Now he picks it up and there's no backward motion whatsoever. So being anchored on that back hip, it allows him to do nothing but drift forward after his initial move. Look at how deep that drift is. This is a very powerful and free energy type of gather that he does at the beginning of his lift into his glove tap. And then there's the drop. He drops onto the back leg. It's not very deep, but the hips are set up nice and flat for him to rotate super efficiently. Everything opens, creates excellent hip-shoulder separation, so it's pretty standard from this point forward. Comes over the top nice and easy, and has a nice front leg as well. Transfers the energy very well. He's also a very big guy. But it's a very simple way for him to kind of guard himself against maybe some of his earlier delivery flaws. I have a feeling he probably had maybe too many moving parts when he was a younger pitcher. I think a lot of guys do. And now he's really simplified everything and made his move super efficient. This is something he can repeat over and over again. This move right here that I'm talking about, and I'll put this in red, where he presets his back hip, like he locks himself into that position. I think that's super key from him because as he travels down the rubber, he's going to be in the exact same spot every time, which allows a consistent arm stroke, consistent timing, and the ability to go ahead and get that hand right where he needs to get at the moment of truth more consistently. But it all starts, I think, from presetting that hip, just keeps his delivery very repeatable and quite efficient. And the proof is in the pudding because he has pitched about 170 plus innings each of the four past years and other years as well in his career. So he's been quite durable. So the proof is in the pudding a little bit mechanically. All right, let's go look at the 3D pitch shapes so you can get one last quick look and appreciation for Kevin Gausman and kind of the up-down game he plays. All right, so we're just going to get rid of the sliders. They don't really matter. Of course, all I clicked was sliders. Here's his four seams. As you can see, he's just pouring them in the zone. This was super key for throwing first pitch strikes, which he did all day in this game. I don't know what the percentage was, but it felt like 80% he was 0-1, and that obviously sets you up for success. He pounded the zone with everything. Really, there's no non-competitive pitches in this entire game. So that's key number one, and that got them very aggressive and got them swinging. And then let's go look at the splits. First on their own. So we mentioned how he pumped everything right down the middle with his four seam. Well, where do a lot of these splitters look like they're headed out of the hand? And the answer is right down the middle. So it's a very simple game, but it took a long time for him to be able to execute at this level. He throws it right down the middle, and then look where all these pitches end up. They end up towards the bottom or on the bottom. And his misses over here to this side of the plate, to the arm side of the plate, those are okay. Because again, when he throws strikes on the outside part of the plate with his fastball, it sets up potential chase over there. Out of this entire pitch plot, there's like two splitters I don't love, and it's these two over here on the right that he pulled. Other than that, the execution's pretty much flawless. Maybe you could quibble with this one up that he gives up the hit with to Pena, but again, that's like one of like 30 or 40 splits that he throws on the game, so it's pretty hard to. He throws 37 splits on the game, and I don't like 3 of them. So that's outstanding execution. 34 out of 37. That's like Steph Curry shooting from 3 points with nobody in the gym, just like with nobody guarding him. Fastball, 55 fastballs. All right. And then let's go look at the interaction between these two pitches because that's kind of what it comes down to. So as you can see, kind of hard to tell what's coming out at release. They all come out of a jumble of the same height band, which is key, so there's no obvious giveaway with the arm slot. And then as they come to the plate, the four seams start down the middle, and they remain down the middle, and maybe they drift a little bit down in, down away, up in, up away, but it's all generally in the middle. The splitters come out down the middle, and then they bottom out with the 10-mile-an-hour difference. So that's what we're looking at, and that's what he did today. It really is nothing different than he does every single time. He just executed a lot better today, and for whatever reason, they were not seeing the ball off of him. Ended up being an outstanding outing. Let's see if there's anything different on his movement from today that would make it interesting. Well, the velocity was actually, that's Christian Javier. So the velocity was up a little bit on the fastball. He averaged 95. He's been averaging 94.4 on the year. And the split velocity was actually down. So that created slightly more separation in this outing. Movement-wise, everything was exactly normal. So it really just comes down to execution. And he did that versus a great team. So anyway, we just watched it. Kevin Gausman, complete game. Complete game shutout. 100 pitches. Is that a Maddux? Is that not a Maddux? Be curious for your comments if you guys think that's a Maddux or not. But anyway, really, really, really appreciate everybody watching me tonight. And thanks for checking me out here on the watching series as we watch Kevin Gausman throw a complete game shutout. Hope you enjoy it. All right. Thanks. See ya.